Hello everyone, welcome back to the Midwest Stitches YouTube channel. My name is Danielle and this is my channel where I talk all about my crafting adventures. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2025, and today I have two finished objects to show you and only one work in progress currently. So let's dive on in and not waste any time. Before I forget, like last time, you can find me on Instagram at midwest.stitches. You can find all of my projects, my knit and crochet projects on Ravelry. Midwest Stitches over there is my name, and I will have all of that here on the screen for you, as well as in the description box below. And you can also check out my website if you feel like it for my hourglass dishcloth pattern and Yarn Nerd merchandise. And then I do have some project bags that I'm going to show you later what I have left in the shop that I just put in there last week. That's midweststitches.com. Okay, let's jump into finished objects. I have two of them. So the first finished object were the pair of socks I was working on the last time. Aren't those gorgeous? Oh my goodness, I love these colors. I said that the last time. I love these colors so much. But this is Yarnable from October 2024, and it was called Witch Please. And for these, I did 8 rounds for the cuff, 4 rounds for the leg, heel flap and gusset, and a rounded toe. I always followed the Crazy Sock Ladies instructions from Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop pattern, and I use 2.0 millimeter needles for my socks. These are for me, and 64 stitches. Oh my gosh, I just this colorway is just so good. I mean, look at, I have to show it one more time in case you haven't seen this ever before up close, but aren't those just the most fabulous Halloween colors? Oh, so in love with them. And this month's Yarnable, which I showed, I think I showed that last time. I'm not knitting it up anytime soon, but I also love those colorways. They're just like, these are like your dark, moody Halloween colors. And then that one's more like your bright, fall, pumpkin-y kind of colorways, like the brighter fall colors. So I love them both equally. But these are the only Halloween socks that I'm finishing for this year, and I love them. Okay, the second one, I hadn't even started these. These weren't even like really something I had talked about making or even thought about making. I was really doing an experiment with these because these are a gift knit, and I was really just trying to see, could I make these socks with 50 grams. So here's what I did. Here's the socks. They will probably look very familiar. I've used this yarn in a pair of socks recently. So this yarn is Kimber's Cozy Creation in What If I Don't Like Pop-Tarts. And for these, I did fingering weight held double for the main. And then this is the DK weight that I had left over from my flower blanket in the Pop-Tart Crust colorway. So for these, I did a shorty version, obviously, too. But this is 10 rounds of ribbing. And then I did 3 rounds for the leg before I started the heel flap. And like I said, these are a gift. These are a Christmas gift. And the person that I made these for, they have incredibly small feet for an adult. So they obviously can use a lot less yarn. And this, when I weighed one of the socks, I want to say it was 25.81 grams. But I don't know if that's completely accurate because that included the tails, you know, from here that I wove in, all of the tails here. I could knit her a pair of DK weight socks with a 51 gram cake of yarn, of fingering weight yarn, and I could get, you know, cuff and toe in this. And if I wanted to, I could have I could have maybe left out 2 rounds of ribbing, and that might have accounted for, you know, making it just around 50. So I don't know. Anyway, I love these. I actually still have a ton of this yarn left. I have probably, I don't know, maybe 30 grams left. I have enough where I put it in my bag for my fingering weight Hexi Flower Blanket, so that I will have a flower in this color in that blanket. So I'm obviously going to use up as much of it as I can at some point in time, but still, it's 2 50-gram cakes that I had in this have gotten me 2 pairs of socks and a flower, eventually a flower. So that's pretty exciting. I'm going to have that in a couple different projects because I love it so much. It's just such a good color, and it really does look like Pop-Tarts, strawberry Pop-Tarts, and those are my favorite. For these, I followed the Crazy Sock Ladies DK Weight Vanilla Sock pattern. I always use the counts for that. This is the size small, so this was 40 stitches. And like I said, I did 10 rounds for the cuff, 3 rounds for the leg, and just followed the rest of her instructions, and to include the toe. And for mine, in this weight yarn, because it is more of a true DK when I hold this double, because it's a 75-25, I used a 2.75 millimeter needle. I think the pattern recommends a 3.25. So I use a much smaller needle size for this weight of yarn when I make these. So there are those. I have 2 more pairs of gift socks that I need to get on the ball with. That was one of them out of the 3 pairs. I think I talked about this the last time. So I'm on track. I can do 1 pair in November, 1 pair in December, and I will be good to go and have those made on time for the recipients. A coffee break. Okay, that's all I have for finished objects. I've really been sticking to what I said on the last episode, where I'm trying to whittle down my whips and work on the blankets and just try not to cast a bunch of things on. And it's feeling really good because it's like I'm slowly finishing those things, and I'm cleaning out the project bags, and I'm putting those away, and not having so much to split my time between. So I'm really loving that, and I'm hoping to stick with that. So with that said, my only work in progress that I'm currently working on is my Christmas tree blanket. And so I have a little bit of an update on this one. And some of you might be like, oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw the poll, you might have seen the poll that I put out there about some issues that I was having. And I'll talk about that in just a second, but I made a decision, and at this point, I'm just kind of feeling done with this blanket. Like, I'm finishing it off, and I want to complete it and be done with it. I'm just, you know, I've laid it out over my lap when I'm sitting on the couch, and it's a good size lap blanket where you have enough room on the edges, and if I'm sitting, it covers my toes and up to about here. So it's a nice size blanket, you know, and I feel like that's fine. So what I did, I know I asked for opinions the last time, but I went ahead and I decided to, let me see if I can get this up here. I decided to add that second row of the tree trunk. And so here's the bottom of the blanket. Here I finished this side, these 2 squares. And so now I only have 2 squares left to complete this blanket. And so the problem, there's that. I've done that. And I'm working on those last 2 squares as we speak. And the thing that I did that people might be like, oh my goodness, is I did not put the star on. Here it is. I cut this off. I did. As you can see across the bottom, I cut it off, and I'm going to just not have a star on my Christmas tree. So here's the top. I added it to the tree. I seamed it on, and I did that. So if you remember the last time you saw this piece, the star was attached here, and I said that I needed to, from here to here, these 2 points, I needed to knit some of the bare yarn to complete it, to complete that row. What happened was I knit one side. I had this whole section done on one side of the star, and what I did was, because the star was it was Tunisian crocheted from the bottom up, I picked up stitches and I crocheted up. So what I did was I decided to pick up stitches across this part and knit up, and I just connected it as I went, and that part worked beautifully. I had 0 issues with, I just picked up a stitch on the Tunisian crochet side and knit those 2 together, or I think I picked one up and passed the last stitch over the picked up stitch, so my stitch count remained the same, and that's how I joined them, and it created a super nice join. It was kind of decorative, and I loved it. The problem that I had was when I finished with that panel and I was ready to bind off, I laid it out and it did not look right. It was scrunching in way too much, and like when I stretched it out to kind of see if I blocked it out, what it would look like, it wouldn't have even have blocked out to take that scrunching out where I had picked up the stitches, like to match the width of the blanket. And so in that poll, I had asked people for some suggestions, and I had a couple people with some really good ideas. One of them, I think, which I thought about trying, she said, I think it was something, using, because my squares are knit bias, and then I was knitting, just flat, that I needed to use a different needle size to compensate for the gauge. And I thought about trying that. And so what I did for about a week is I took out the needles and I put what I had done on Stitch Saver and just set it to the side, and I kept going with my squares for the bottom of the tree trunk, because I figured, okay, I'm going to let that sit in timeout before I make any big decisions. I'll work on the bottom part of the blanket and get that done. And then yesterday I had gotten some of these squares done for the bottom, so I'm almost finished with it, like you just saw. And I thought about the top, and I was like, okay, I'm close to having to make a decision on what I want to do. And at this point, like I said, I'm just feeling done with this blanket, and that feeling when I had put the top of the tree down, that feeling hadn't gone away of me just wanting to be done with this and completing this project and calling it good. So to me, that told me, okay, you just need to go with it. You just attach the top, take out the star, and finish up the blanket, and it will be fine. And that's what I did. And I feel perfectly fine and okay with my decision. I don't think that I will miss having the star on the top. I wanted a star on the tree so that you knew it was a Christmas tree, but at the end of the day, this is just going to be a blanket in my house, so who cares? Who cares if you didn't, like, you came over to my house and you didn't know it was a Christmas tree. You just thought it was a tree. Who cares? I know it's a Christmas tree. It was made with Christmas themed colored yarn, and that's all she wrote. So I am perfectly okay with my decision. And once I'm done with the squares, I still plan on doing an I-cord border. And I have some, I think I showed it, but I have some like gray Cascade Heritage yarn that I'm going to hold double. They're like 2 different shades, so I'm just going to hold them together, and whatever color comes out of that is whatever color it's going to be. They're more in the silvery kind of family, so I think it'll be perfectly fine. I'm not worried about it being 2 different colors. I think it'll go good because this is such a colorful blanket. You won't really notice that. But anyway, yes, I will be doing an I-cord border around this just to finish it off, and I'm hoping to start that this weekend. My plan is, because I have 2 squares left, I've started one. There it is, just a little baby right now. So I am working on that, and I'm hoping to, by tomorrow, it's kind of a lofty goal, but it's the only thing I'm working on. So it's completely possible to get those 2 squares done and added to this blanket. And then, because as I'm finishing a square, I'm attaching it and putting it on. So maybe by tomorrow I can have both of those squares done and added to this blanket. And then Saturday, November 1st, I can start the I-cord border. And I have no idea how long that will take me. I have plans to start some other projects, some new things, but I'm not sure. We'll see how I'm feeling come time to start this I-cord border and how I feel about it, because I've never done one before. If it goes relatively quick, then I will probably just stick with this and get the border done before I start anything new. But if I'm feeling like it's kind of tedious and, you know, taking forever, then I might like do a little bit on this, you know, do a little bit of the border every day and start some other projects that I want to start. We'll see. I don't know. Obviously, I will report back next time and let you know what I decided to do. And who knows, it might be done by that time. That would be fabulous if it was. Because like I said, 3 or 4 times now, I'm just ready for this project to be done. I love it. I really do. It's been such a joy to work on, but I want to be finished with it. And it's the perfect time of year, being November, December, to have this to use and it be finished. That would be even better. Like a Christmas tree blanket finished in time for the holiday season. Yeah, it seems like it's time for it to be done. The next thing I wanted to show you is I'm trying to get back to I was showing for a while, I had like a bin with yarn picked out for the month. So I'm trying to get back to that these next 2 months. And instead of my basket, because my basket has got yarn in it, it's preoccupied at the moment, that I like to use, I am using one of my bins. This is what I store my yarn in, or some of my yarn, and I have it labeled Christmas yarn. And I put some extras in here. So I have all of this, and I'll show you them in just a second. I would love to knit through some of this between November and December. This is kind of my goal basket for the next 2 months. They're all going to be socks for the most part. Some might be DK, some might be fingering, I don't know. But these have all been in my stash for at least a year, and some of these have been in here way longer than that. And I'm feeling all of the Christmas vibes. October has been such a crappy month, which really sucks for me because it's my second favorite month out of the whole year. And this whole like government shutdown thing, being furloughed from work, and all of the uncertainty, like with, you know, my pay, and, you know, Adrian also works for the government too. We're both federal employees, so we're both not being paid at the moment. So it's just a lot of like emotions and uncertainty and all of the things going on. So I need all of the happy things I can get right now. So for me, I'm going to start my Christmas knitting, Christmas yarn knitting, November 1st. And I don't care that I have November themed yarn. I have a couple. I'm going with Christmas, and I'm probably going to decorate too. And yeah, I'm going to be that person this year. So the first one I've had caked up for a long time is this yarn. And this is from Forbidden Fiber Co. And it's called Rockefeller Christmas Tree on her 80/20 base. And it is very plump. I used some of this already, I think it was last year, for some socks that I made. I ran out and I needed some for the toes as I was doing a DK weight pair. So there's just a minor amount of this gone, but I don't know if I'll make a DK pair, which would be more worsted because it is more of a sport weight. But I've had this caked up forever and on my yarn wall over here, and I stare at it all the time. So I really want to move this out of my stash this season. So there's that one. And then this one I've had even longer than that. I got this, oh gosh, I want to say it's been at least probably, I don't know, maybe 5 years. Someone else, one of you might have had this yarn too. I don't know. So you tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's at least been 5 years since I got this. But this color is from Sweet Tea Yarns, and it's called Snow Globe. And it came with this cute Progress Keeper that I've had on there forever. Oop. That I kept on here to use with it. And this was the Advent skein, the 100-gram skein from her Advent, whatever year that was. And I just bought the Christmas Day yarn, the 100-gram skein. I didn't have the Advent. She had extras of this posted in her shop at the time, and so I just purchased the full 100-gram, and it was still a surprise. It wasn't like she had a picture up there or anything. So, but anyway, I've had this for a very long time, and I would love to use it as well. The next one in this basket is the only Freckled Whimsy Christmassy club I got. It was an extra. I got this last year, or, well, yeah, this was June 2024's colorway. So I got this last year as an extra. It's called Peppermint Cocoa by the Fire, and it was my favorite one that I saw. I love these colors. So I would love to knit this up as well. And then these two I got from Leah Loves to Knit. I think it was 2 years ago. We were in like a friend group on Instagram where we all did like an Advent swap, and she got me, and these were just amazing, and I want to work them up so bad. But they're from 3 by the Sea Designs. Aren't those gorgeous sock sets? And we have Mrs. Claus, as you can see, and Cookies for Santa over here. So I really want to get those knit up too. Obviously, I want to knit all of them up. And then this one I've had for a couple of years as well. This is from Granite State Yarns. It's called The Holly and the Ivy with this brown mini. She had this, I want to say it was 3 years ago, maybe, yeah, it was probably 3 years ago. And it's kind of, she knitted up when she had this, and she made socks out of it. It makes a micro striping, so I think that will look really pretty. And then the last one, I got this I think 2 years ago now, and I want to make socks for me and Adrienne out of this because of the inspiration behind the socks. So this is from Legacy Fiber Arts. Look at that speckling. Isn't that gorgeous? In this kind of steely blue. This is called Christmas Vacation. So this was from their, I think they had an advent calendar that was Christmas Vacation themed. And we love that movie. Like, that's hands down probably my favorite Christmas movie. Like, that and the Santa Claus are like tied for me. Those are my favorites. I want to watch them a million times every year. So I want to make socks for both of us out of this yarn. And to me, that's completely doable with a 100-gram skein and a 20-gram mini. I can make us both shorter socks. I'll usually just do a toe for me. So for his, I'll probably do toes and cuffs to use up the most yarn that I can. So anyway, that is my goal for November and December. I'm hoping to work on the hats for my friends' daughters and work on these yarns as well. I know I won't get them all knit up. That's very unrealistic for me because I also have an advent. I have 2 advent calendars coming in December. I have the Granite State Yarns one on its way, and then I'm doing a swap with a friend for like a DIY. And so I don't have projects picked out just yet. I mean, I have ideas, but I would like to work on those projects during December along with these socks. So I know I won't make it through all of these, but I could still work on them through January because I don't really have like January themed yarn, if you will. I don't have like just kind of the Arctic snowy kind of colored yarns. I mean, I probably have some in my stash somewhere, but who knows? Anyway, that is what you will be seeing from me over the next couple of months. And I hope you guys are as excited for the holiday season as I am. I'm ready for snow and all of the joy and for life to resume back to its normal pace for me and all of that stuff. So I have one more thing to show you. I'm going to show you the bags I have left in my shop. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't have seen it. I forgot to post it on the community tab on here, but anyway, I have 3 left of these. 1, 2, 3. These are gingerbread men, all in snap and with this very cute colored polka dot fabric. So there's 3 of those. And then I have 2 of these. These are the Hocus Pocus bags. I know we're at the end of October, but I know some people like to use Halloween stuff all year round, or you want it for next year. So these are both drawstring, and the fabric is the same on the inside. And since I have 2 of these left, whoever orders one of these first will get a free needle cozy that I made to go with it. It's a matching one. It has the same fabric on the inside. So whoever orders the first Hocus Pocus bag will get a free needle cozy with their order. And then I have this one that I called Autumnal Vibes. There's only 1 of these. So it's got like all of the autumn stuff. I thought that was very cute. And then I put orange snaps on it, if you can see those. And on the inside, I love this fabric. I don't know how well you're going to see it, but it is like an autumn colored polka dot. There you go. It was very unique. It was like all of the autumn tones, but in a polka dot. So I picked that one for this. So there's 1 of those. And then I have 1 of these, Christmas Camping. And it's also snap. These are all snap that I have available. And it also has that same green polka dot in there. So 1 of those. And then I have only 1 of these left. Or just 1. I only had 1. But it hasn't been claimed yet. The Grinch bag. And this one does have the snaps. If you can see that, the Grinch themed snaps. And this is the inside. The handle is the same fabric. And whoever orders this one also gets a free needle cozy with their order. Because there's only 1, so you'll get a matching needle cozy to go with your order. And then, probably my most favorite one, I mean, I love all of these, like, let's be honest. But this one is just a very unique winter print for me. It's a winter print more than it is a Christmas print. So it is very, like, you could use it November, December, January, all the way through February or March, really as long as you wanted. If you're, you like to switch out seasonal things like I do. But it is this beautiful snowflake fabric. These are metallic silver. I don't know how well it's going to pick it up, but it is metallic silver snaps. And then the inside fabric is my favorite part. It is, I don't know how well the camera is going to pick it up, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It is metallic in there too. Hopefully you can kind of see that shift. But it is got a couple different colors in it. But I just love that striping. Isn't it pretty? Oh, yeah, it's got a blue, tan, and a brown, but it just works so well with this. It took me forever to find a fabric that I liked that matched this, because I'd had this for a while. I got this before Joann's closed last year, and I knew it would make a pretty bag, but I'm like, I cannot find a coordinating fabric that I feel looks great with it. But I did find one at a local quilt shop. So that's where I got that fabric from. Anyway, I have 2 of those left in snap. I did have some drawstring ones, but those have already been bought. So that's all I have for bags are snap ones. And I'm still working on the vinyl bags that I talked about. Oh, I've had so many issues with my industrial sewing machine right here. Sewing these vinyl bags. My thread keeps shredding. I've done all of the things. If you're a sewer, you know how annoying that can be. I've had tension issues, you name it. So I think I've found a solution. I am using it's over here, right back there. I think I'm going to be able to use my semi-industrial Juki TL 2000QI machine for that, which I normally sew all of my bags on, but these vinyl bags, I didn't want to sew on it. But I think I figured out a way to do it and have the stitching look nice. So cross your fingers for me that it will work out well. I was fiddling around with that last night, and it's been like, since I talked about it 2 weeks ago, I've spent the last 2 weeks with my industrial sewing machine trying to troubleshoot the issues that I was having, because I could like sew a couple of rows of stitching and it'd be fine, and then my thread would shred. And that was after I sort of figured out the tension issues, and it didn't look as nice as I wanted it to. And so it's just been a pain. It's been a really big pain, but I'm hoping that I can get those up for sale because they are going to look so, so cute, and I cannot wait to show them to you. But I'll update you when those are available for sale. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you aren't subscribed to my channel already, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, and God bless you. Bye!